What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Nerds and Mics. I realize we pretty much have a new intro for this every single time. We just literally that's how we stay hip. You know how some other companies will change their logo to stay hip. We just change our introduction.
That's all we need to do.
Dude, you know what's so funny? Just that's because that was just such a random thing I said. I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I've seen that. Maybe that is just me. That's just a boomer take. But there are some times when I'll see a company change a logo, and I'll actually be like, "Damn, man! The old one was so much better." And you notice how the new one will cost the company millions of fucking dollars just because they changed their logo.
That shit's it's literally you're changing how you make your things now.
You're really changing the entire aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. That shit kind of annoys me. But oh man, I'm not gonna lie. And I know my supervisor will listen to this at work. So what's up, Kelly? But bro, this lately, because I got a promotion and we're all summertime, we're so far behind. All this overtime is killing me. Before I would do a good 40 hour work week, and I'm that's just good. I'm good right there. Now I'm literally doing almost 60 hours. So it's just a massive difference, 10-hour days throughout the whole week. Then it's we're working Saturday 6 hours. That's Sunday. Literally, it's fun. My friends would be hey, let's go hang out. I'll be no, dude, I gotta make my couch my bitch. I gotta just sit there and not do anything. But I don't know. I'm excited. Yo, are you excited to finally get back to work working on the TV set?
I mean, again, it's still not. It doesn't look like it's happening anytime soon because the actors have just striked. So that's adding on to the writers' strike. So we have both actors and writers striking.
Yeah, why did they strike? What happened with that?
I mean, for both the scenarios, for writers and actors, they've just been underpaid for the amount of time that they're being on set.
Okay.
And then also there's certain agreements when it comes to background actors and things like that, them getting paid. Because obviously they're not the main cast or whatever, but how much their time is worth, things like that. So
right,
they're all part of a union, and that's what a part of the film industries all have they're big unions. There's the writers, directors, and then the actors guild, and then there's also production side as well. But they're all just there to protect the rights of those individuals and make sure that they get paid properly and they get the right time off and the proper treatment as well.
Right.
Because especially on a film set, it can be depending what type of film, you can be there for hours, and you can, if you're not getting paid, that's the biggest thing, overtime, especially
that's true. Yeah.
Is
well, because once you pass that 40 hours, you actually start to get mad if you're yo, I'm not earning any more money. Are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, no, that's the thing though. They've been pretty good with at least in the past, the unions have been good with overtime. At least when it comes to my job, you get paid I think it's double when you go into overtime, which is really, yeah, it's I've had various days that they go into we go into overtime, and it's yeah, it's nice but also bad at the same time because we usually are working for damn near 16 hours or more than that,
Well, it's funny you threw that number out there because I remember the first time I ever had the job where I was working for a moving company. Have you heard of the moving company called Two Men in a Truck?
I have, yes.
And I they're all over everywhere. So I worked for that company for literally I worked there for literally a week. And I know I was talking yeah, I've been there for years, but no, I worked there for 1 week, and there was the day that made me quit is only the fifth day I was there, so on Friday, I literally worked an 18-hour shift. Because you think about it, you're moving a house, you can't stop until the fucking move is done. They're not just gonna be yeah, you can go chill in a hotel for whatever. So you gotta fucking work until the hours. There's people there who I don't know anymore. A lot of them were dicks, so fuck them all. But there were people there who said they had worked 20+ hour shifts, and you gotta come in the next day. That's just not even fair, man. That's just not even fucking fair.
How does that even what? I mean, I get it for 1 day, 1 day move. Sometimes it is like that, but if they're doing that all the time, how does that do they get paid overtime? How does that work?
They better. They fucking better.
Yeah.
I think I did. I mean I haven't worked there since pre-COVID, but I mean, if I did, I hope to God I did, bro. Because like 16 hours, that's already that's already almost half of a fucking regular work week in one fucking day.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So I don't know, man. Yeah, that like working overtime, like it looks better on your check, yeah. But it's like, dude, like, is it really worth it if you're coming home every single day, like, like you don't even want to fucking spend time and like what doing it, like relaxing? You want to just fucking like go right to sleep, and it's like, oh, you only get 5 6 hours. All right, back to work. Let's go. Like, it's just like, damn, man, you're just working yourself to like literal death. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, that's true. Just make sure, I guess, you get compensated, for the time you put
Yeah.
in. That's the key. Don't get
Have you ever had any really shitty jobs, Jack?
um I mean, not really, and I knock on wood, my work experience has been pretty good.
We're making progress. You have a good job right now. We're making progress. We don't want
Yeah,
to stop.
I mean, I've had challenging situations in like all of my like lines of work, but it's never been like, oh shit, like people are here like fucking me over, or it's like a really
Right,
bad environment, like I need to get out of here. Yeah, no, generally it's been like I've had like, I've had to work with like scummy people or people I don't like,
right.
that's just how it is. That's life. But
'Cause, like my job at Subway that I had, that was the first job I ever really had. I was like 17, and mainly I got it because I just like I wanted to take a chick to the movies and shit. You know what I mean? But no, when I first had that, like I'm not gonna lie, like people that talk about like, oh, that's like, I would say 90% of customers were fine. I had no problem with it.
yeah.
Like, for the most part, dude, I don't have much to complain about. Like, we got free fucking cookies and free subs. Like, they would be like, "Oh, we gotta throw all this stuff out at the end of the night because it's not good for the next day." I'd be like, "Dude, I'll take like 7 footlongs home and eat them bitches over the course of the week.
Yeah.
Like, don't throw those out. I'll keep them." So, but no, like, and to be honest, like, and that job, like, it was bad for the money wise, because like, yo, you can't survive on like, $9 an hour. But what was great about it is that like, uh, most of the time I was working the closing shift, so it's like most of the time it wasn't too busy. So I literally would like, I wouldn't even bother doing homework at home. I would just do homework at Subway, and I would like watch Netflix and shit. And like, since like I didn't even meet my supervisor for the first like 2 months of my job. So for the most part, I never really even had a boss. Like I would
That's
have someone to be
crazy.
like, oh, I know, right? Like I'd have someone to be like, yeah, we got to do this and do that. But it's like she would just tell my responsibilities. But like if I didn't do what I was supposed to do, she in no way could fire me. So it's like I literally just I just like brought my fucking like phone and I would just like watch a lot of Netflix. Like I'm not gonna lie, dude. Because this right around time I think when season 3 dropped of it, or season 4. I mean, I watched all of Rick and Morty
Oh my
during
god.
on Subway. I watched all of it. Like it was great, dude. And like you know what's funny? My supervisor like had no problem, or I guess not supervisor, but manager, my boss, I'll say. And basically she would only call, be like, "Hey, can you guys do a better job at your job?" But for the most part, like she was so laid back about stuff. She would allow us to literally play our own music at Subway. So
Oh
I
wow.
when I say that, I literally brought a speaker that I got for my birthday, like a little JBL mini speaker, and I'd put it next to where we were making sandwiches, and I could blast any music I wanted to.
That's pretty cool.
So it was like the most chill job ever. Like, and it'd be so funny too, because I would literally just be like, I'd be making a sub, and there'd be like a little kid who would like try to ask for a kid's meal, and then all of a sudden you just hear like fucking Drake in the back being like, "I'm a fuck yo ho," like.
Damn, okay. I mean, yeah, I've never had a job where I could just like sit back and chill or like listen. I mean, I guess there was like my one time I worked at a restaurant when you were like what is it, drying off like glasses and things like that when they came out of
Oh
the
yeah, 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 yeah,
and like
yeah, yeah.
silverware. Like you could be like, because you're in the back of the kitchen basically, you could just like watch
Right.
Netflix or like play music, I guess. As long as your boss is like, that's the thing, we had to do it like very like low key. I think the music was okay, but watching shit, you had to be like, your boss was coming through, you had to like, your manager was coming through, you had to like put that shit away. You could not like, let them see.
So, dude, that wasn't the case. I had no problem with that, especially because at nighttime it'd be so like unbusy. Like literally, there'd be time where we wouldn't have customers for like 2 hours. So it's like we would be able to binge watch like a whole fucking season of a TV show easily,
Damn.
easily before we leave. Like it was just great. We could like pull up chairs and just fucking be chilling back like this. Like it was fun as fuck. I loved it.
Yeah, no.
The only reason I left that job because I got very like ass hurt about this was there was some chick who came in from another subway and she had been
Okay.
there exact same time as I have, and I'd been at the subway this location for 2 years, and I was expecting to finally be able to ask to get like manager or something like that,
Hmm.
and literally this chick in the first 2 weeks was already offered manager. And I was like, what the fuck? Like I actually got a little like
What?
pissed off. I was like, dude, and that's the only reason I left because I left when I was like about to graduate high school. It was like literally the summer of. So but yeah, I took that a bad way, dude. I was like, I've been here for 2 years. I didn't get offered at first. Are you kidding me?
Why did they offer it to her though? Why was she so special?
Yeah. I don't know if it's because she was just older and they thought like, oh, they're older, so she probably has like a better experience of like giving orders or something. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I guess because I was like 18, like maybe it would have been a little weird, like having an 18-year-old give orders. But I mean, still, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I was upset personally. I was very, very upset.
No, that sucks. That's not cool.
I deserve my ranking in this restaurant. Speaking of like food, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I always kind of wanted to be like, if I knew how to cook, I think I would kind of want to like be a chef because I love food. Like I love cooking. Like I'll be like the American Gordon Ramsay. That'd be kind of fun to do.
No, I mean, no, I've learned how to cook at least the past like 2 years. So it's
Yeah, have you?
yeah, no, I mean my brother and I we signed up for like HelloFresh or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Is that okay? I'm wondering, is that shit actually good?
Oh yeah, no, it's real. I was shocked. Like you can actually make some really good shit. Like sometimes it is hit or miss, but then also I think it's
Yeah.
like it depends on like your palate and what you eat. Um,
Okay.
but there's like a lot of cool stuff that I've tried, and I think I'm more like into trying other stuff because of it too, and like along
Right.
with like learning how to actually like make those things. And now we just basically have the recipes of that stuff. We don't do it anymore, but we might pick back up doing it. I don't know, but we can again just go out and make it now like on our own. If we could just go to the grocery store or something and find the ingredients
Right.
on our own, which is really nice.
Because I've always wondered a question about like those kind of things, or even like Blue Apron, when it's like, oh, you can have like food delivered to you, but you have to cook it. Like, I always like was hesitant about that. Like, is it actually good produce, or is it like bad, or is it kind of mid? Like, you know
Well,
what I mean?
is it blue? I'm not familiar with Blue Apron. Is it like
Well, I think it's the exact same thing as HelloFresh. Like, they just deliver a meal to you, and you just have to cook it. So,
Well, see, no, with HelloFresh, you have to like what do you mean by cook it too? Do you mean like make it, like prepare it, or do you mean like I know because like there's certain ones that I've seen that's like it's like a TV dinner, you know what I mean, where you put it in like yeah, no,
I think what it is they send you the ingredients,
mm,
and they'll send you a chart of how to make it or a recipe of how to make it, and you just cook it yourself.
yeah, okay, so then yeah, it's the same thing, yeah, exactly, yeah,
Yeah. I guess just like Blue Apron is like special because it gets like a lot of people promote Blue Apron, but then you got people for HelloFresh, so maybe they're about
maybe
like the same.
maybe the quality of Blue Ribbon's like nicer, maybe it's like
Maybe.
higher quality goods. I don't know.
But 'cause I was wondering about that because I've gotten offers to be like, hey, do you want to promote Blue Fresh or HelloFresh on your stream? And I'll be like, because it's like you have people are forced to buy it if you want to make money off it. I was like, dude, that sucks.
I
I'm
mean,
lazy. I want to just fucking like read an ad and then to get paid for it.
I mean, if they give you a promotion too, you could use that to maybe get a discount or something and try it. Or I would
Exactly.
actually just say like, there's a plenty of like you said content creators that have a code or something.
Oh yeah.
Just use their code, try it out, and then if you're like, okay, this is like actually pretty good, definitely
Maybe
like
I should do that.
definitely like if you're gonna be like sponsored or like really do your research on stuff. Like don't just like be like, oh yeah, I'll take a sponsor because it's cool. Like definitely have I guess like word behind your support. I don't know, like
Right. Exactly.
yeah.
Speaking of which, man, Speaking of things something going on, I we just started a reaction channel, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Brad and Jack Reacts on YouTube. Again, Brad and Jack Reacts on YouTube. And I'm not gonna lie, we just reacted to a video of some of Patrick Starr's best moments from SpongeBob. Dude, that video was so fucking funny. I'm not gonna lie, like people ask me, like, okay, people ask me who is the best animated character, not counting anime. And
Mhm.
like, because also like I don't know much about anime to really. I'm not influenced to anime enough. But for me, I always like Patrick Star is one of the people I instantly think of because like, especially as a kid, like growing up for the first like 10 years of my life, I would turn it on and SpongeBob would always be playing, and just like all the ones we watched were like vintage episodes. But yeah, for me, it's either him or oh. I mean, before like once I became a fan, Cartman is up there too. Eric Cartman from South Park. He's another one of the best characters I've ever seen. Just like just a fucking a crazy, arrogant, racist dick. Like it's just like the best.
Yeah, I
It's just
mean,
the best. Uh,
definitely a piece of shit. Like they're all
oh
like,
yeah,
you know, their
yeah.
own levels of it. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
know. I mean, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, who is some of your favorite animated characters that you just fucking love? Like you're like, oh, I cannot wait to see this guy on this show.
I mean, I have a soft spot for like Stewie
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
and like I don't know, like Roger's a really great part of
Oh
American
yeah.
Dad.
I want the pecan sandies.
they're
Like Roger's awesome.
they're just the both. I mean, they're both kind of the same vein of ridiculousness,
Oh
I
yeah.
guess. And that's what I really like about them. That's my kind of humor, you know.
Maybe I might favor Roger just ever so slightly, and I think the only reason why is because he does so many personas that it keeps it so interesting. Like you never know what's coming next. You know what I mean? Whereas like Stewie, I mean, I will say the whole idea of Stewie being like a baby and he's literally he's the smartest person ever, but he's also a baby. Like he'll be like, I just invented a time machine, and then literally he'll like fucking don't know how shapes work. Like that to me, that's funny as fuck.
Yeah, no,
You
that is actually pretty funny sometimes when they do
know?
stuff like that. They like try and like ground it in reality. Like once they're like he already like made, yeah, like you said, a time machine where he's like
Yeah.
created like a ray gun or something, you know, like yeah.
And then he literally like can barely count to like 10.
Yeah. I mean, I think like also like Rick
uh,
from Rick and Morty's up there because he's like
oh yeah.
just another like breed. I still don't know.
He reminds me of Eric if he was like older, you know? That kind of gives it that vibe. Like someone who just literally acts like he's like the best and so
Yeah.
smart and literally can do everything when it's like literally. I mean, then again, I will say Eric probably, or not Eric, Rick probably can do anything, honestly. Like he's at that level of smartness, you know?
Yeah, I think Rick has more like confidence than Cartman. I think Cartman is very
True.
insecure, and that's why
True.
he acts the way that he does. I mean, you know what though? I think Rick is pretty insecure too because he drinks a lot, and then he tries to like make himself be like, you know, this macho man when in reality he's like, you know, sad as shit because he's like lost his family and stuff. So I don't know.
Even though I think Rick is better, I do still like Morty a lot. Like, I think it's because like Morty's like such a fucking little bitch. Like, he reminds me of myself. Like, and he just literally be like, "Oh man, Rick, what are we gonna do? We can't get back to our universe." Like, like
Yeah,
I love Morty to death, man. Like, and I think because he's like such a little like fucking such a little bitch, and he's just like a classic like 14-year-old who is like nervous and he like doesn't like high school and literally like how I was at 14 he wants to just like fuck everything like you know what I mean like that's
yeah.
I think Morty's definitely up there too like that show Rick and Morty is great and I think I just saw they came out with like they're like now at season 6. I was like it's about time man because it's like that show's been out for a long time so
Well, you know what's happening now, right? Is that they're not gonna have the main
yeah Rick's gone I know
and Morty too, because he does a lot of the voices. So he does Rick and Morty. So
he does both Rick and Morty.
yeah.
Wow. Yo, Justin Roiland's a legend. I didn't know he did both. I just thought he did Rick. I didn't know he did Morty too. That's
Oh yeah,
crazy.
no, that was I think that was the whole pitch was that when he did the show, it was like he like did like a parody skit of Back to the Future. That's what it is. if you think about it, it's Doc Brown and then Marty
You know what?
McFly.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's
I
the
didn't
whole
even think
thing.
about that. Yo, you
Yeah.
just blew my mind, Jack. That's crazy.
No, but I mean, I
Wow.
always thought it was pretty obvious as like a nerd. I was like, you know,
I didn't
when
even
I
think
tell people
about
that, yeah.
it. Yeah. How like an old fuck and some little kid, or I guess teenager, literally just like are traveling the whole entire universe. The only thing is, the only difference is obviously like they travel universes, whereas Back to the Future all it is just time travel. But
Yeah.
that's a very good point. I didn't even think about that. I could totally see Rick being like precisely. Like I could totally see that.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they're both kind of crazy in their own like mad scientist kind of way, you know. So,
Oh yeah.
uh, but yeah, no, I mean, it'll like I said, it'll be interesting to see. I don't know what I think they're recasting like the voices for Rick and Morty, so it'll be really funny. Or I don't know about funny, but it'll just be interesting to see if they can.
Yeah, it's kind of like for me, like whenever like there's a new character in either like Marvel or a new actor playing whatever kind of thing. By the way, bro, speaking of like new actors, this had nothing to do with it, but like, um, I saw I saw the last Indiana Jones movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And have you seen it?
I have not. I've heard it's gotten really bad reviews though.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well maybe don't trust my white ass, but I would say, bro, I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go in
It was
blind.
great.
I don't care about the reviews, but I've just heard like some people say that it's like it's definitely so I've heard people say it's better than Crystal Skull, but it's still just doesn't like it feels like it still shouldn't have been made and that I don't
Right.
know. Again, I'll have to wait and see. Like I need to watch it at some point.
I'm curious. So, like, what in your opinion is the best Indiana Jones? Like, I know. Okay, is it Raiders first? Is Raiders the first one?
Yeah, it's Raiders and then Temple of
It's
Doom.
Temple of Doom, then Crystal Skull, then the one that just came out. It's called Dial of Destiny.
So no, it's Raiders, Temple of Doom, and then it's the Last Crusade, and then it's Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Okay, then it's the one that just came out. Okay,
yeah, and actually technically, from a chronological standpoint, Temple of Doom is supposed to be the first one, and then the first one, which is was the Raiders of the Lost Ark, is supposed to be the second one, which is really confusing. But the third one is still the third one, so it's still the last one of the
right.
I guess original trilogy is what people like.
Yeah, it's the last of this. It's the third of the series, not like chronologically.
Mm-hmm,
yeah, know what I mean?
Well, technically it was supposed to be the last one, but then they made it a fourth one, and then they made a fifth one. So
it's kind of like video. It's kind of like a video game where it's like this game finally came out, but it actually takes place way before everything else. So it's kind of like in like storyline, it doesn't really make sense, but like video game, it's released at this time. So yeah, it's one of those things.
They do that all the time sometimes with like things that haven't been touched on in a while. Like I heard they're making another Tron movie.
Really?
Yeah, so that'll be interesting.
I never saw those movies.
You don't really need to. I mean, you could technically watch the second one. Because the first one, even though it was like advanced for its time,
right?
It looks a little whack. It's a little weird.
It's kind of weird. Okay, yeah.
I mean, you can try to watch it. It's Jeff Bridges, who's like a really like good actor. I'm trying to think what you could have seen him in. In Iron Man, the first one, he's the dude, bald ass head that tries to fight Tony, and the suit.
Okay, so he plays the main antagonist in the first Iron Man movie. Okay, yeah, I know you're talking about that.
Obadiah or something. Yeah. But yeah, so like it's interesting though. But the second one is still it's also a good one. That was like the first time I think they really tried de-aging. It doesn't look that good, but it looks okay. They de-aged Jeff Bridges, which was like at the time when people saw it, they're like, "Oh shit! Like what the fuck? Like you do that? Like what?" But yeah, no, that's an interesting series. I mean, they'll always keep doing that, you know. Yeah, like with Indiana Jones, who would have thought that we would get another one? Like we thought that the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull would be the last one, you know.
It blew my mind. Like, dude, he did an action movie. Harrison Ford did an action movie, and he's 81 years old. That is so
I think it was
fucking
his birthday,
wild.
like a couple days ago. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. So he at least did it when he was like either 79 or 80. Well, and dude, 70 or 80, your ass like has to check into a fucking like retirement home. Like that's fucking insane that you just did an action movie.
And he's also going to be in the MCU now, so that'll be.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so
no fucking way.
Yeah, I mean you haven't seen the Hulk movie, right? Or I'm trying to think what else is the dude in.
Which Hulk movie?
The first one, whatever, the one with Edward Norton, whatever the
Okay, well I've seen it, but I hated it.
Yeah, but he's gonna be playing the guy General Ross, the one with the mustache, that general dude who's also in like Civil War and stuff.
Oh,
And,
okay, yeah.
yeah. So he'll be playing him now because the actor that played him died in like last year, I think.
Wow.
So yeah, now he's taking over, and he's gonna be playing him in the new Captain America movie, which is coming out. Well, now it's delayed, I think. I don't know. Everything is delayed until the strikes are over. Basically,
Right.
they halted. I don't know if you saw it too. They released pics for Deadpool, or like
Oh yeah.
the what Wolverine looks like. That looks pretty.
Yeah, I saw a picture of Wolverine and Deadpool standing next to each other. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
It looks. I'm so excited for Deadpool 3, bro. It's gonna be a great movie. That's coming out next year, right?
Well, who knows now? Again, the strike is pushing a lot of shit off. Like
Right.
the Craig Mazin, I think is his name, the dude who wrote like the series of Last of Us. He just said that he got the first episode of the second season done right before the like strike was in effect. So yeah, no, they're still gonna have to, once they come back, they'll have to write all of that and then go and film it. So a lot of things are just like gonna be delayed now, you know.
Right, dude. I'm not, bro. Harrison Ford, man. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about like who are the best actors of all time. I put him in my top three. My top three was Leo, Harrison Ford, and Samuel Jackson. Those are my three best actors ever.
Represent Chicago.
Hell yeah. Let's go, baby. But like, dude, Harrison Ford, like that guy, how he did Indiana Jones, like, yo, that man is determined to die on camera for our entertainment. Like, he's just going for it. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like 90, like he still just plays like fucking like a guy like how Professor X in like X-Men. He'll just be going around in a fucking wheelchair. Like, he might be doing that till he's like fucking 90 years old.
Yeah, no. Like, he's an icon really of his time, and still to this day. I don't know if you've ever seen The Fugitive, but that's a really good.
I love The Fugitive.
Yeah, dude, that
incredible movie.
Yeah, I mean that one's set in Chicago. That one's a great one.
I would say if we're not counting Star Wars, Indiana Jones, my favorite Harrison Ford movie is Air Force One.
Oh really?
I love that. How he plays the president.
See, I think I like him more in The Fugitive, to be honest. I like
really
that role.
okay.
That role is like, it's a crazy story, bro.
Just says he keeps swapping characters to hide his appearance.
Yeah,
and how he gets like, is it a train accident he gets into?
Yeah, there's or no, it's a bus accident. I'm pretty sure where they tip over or something, and then he escapes with a prisoner. Or so. Yeah, no, it's been a while since I've seen it, but the one line I remember is with Tommy Lee Jones when he's in the on the waterfall or whatever, and he's like, I didn't kill my wife, and he's like, I don't care. Like it's just like such a like great line, such an iconic movie.
Oh yeah.
Like again, Harrison Ford is an icon. So
no, he's the shit, bro. He's definitely earned my pick as one of the best actors ever. Like he's in that conversation. Like. And like I don't use that to anybody. Like I feel, what do you think classifies as a what puts you in the conversation for amazing actor, Jack? Because obviously your film knowledge is better than mine. Like, would you say that like do you have to just have like several movies under your belt, or do you have to just have a good acting ability, or just everything all together? Like,
I mean, I think. To me at least, I think it's a very subjective question. Like you could like an actor, like I could really like an actor because he's comedic and like he's like really good at comedic roles and stuff like that. Point. You know what I mean? And like I think like but from a serious standpoint, I don't know. Like it really is just how you qualify it. You know how you look at it. If you want to like judge them from that perspective, or you can again look at them from an all around like actor perspective, they can do multiple different things. Like I think was it Adam Sandler's kind of up there because his range is very wide, and like those actors that can do that, it's really like astonishing. You know, it's not they show that they're just more than one like side of a coin or something like that. I don't know what the expression is, but like
true, because Adam's so good at comedy, but he also is an incredible drama actor, like how he was in Uncut Gems. Yo, when you told me to watch that movie and I watched it, that became one of like my favorite movies. Oh my god, he was so awesome in that.
Have you rewatched it since? I think if you
Oh,
rewatch
fuck
it,
yeah.
you probably you pick up more on the stuff and the things and like just like the
Oh yeah.
character that he plays because it's just like such a you're literally just in a day like you follow him like for a couple days and it's just like a day in the life of what he does as that
Oh yeah.
person.
Oh yeah. Like it really is like it really just shows how what kind of an addiction, especially addiction like gambling, can just like ruin your fucking life.
In different all kinds of ways, you know. 'Cause
You
by
know?
the end of that, what was it like? Yeah, he had won all of that money, but like he had lost his family or like lost his wife. His wife was like, "Nah, I don't want to fuck with you anymore." His girl was like gone with somebody else, and he was all alone in that fucking like gem shop or whatever, you know, jewelry
Because he
store.
didn't he lock like some people in a fucking like
The
little part
mobs
of the
or whatever,
store?
right? Or
Yeah,
I think yeah,
dude.
it was like
That
where
was
they were
insane.
some sort of criminals. But yeah, no, that is like that's just like that's how realistic it can be, bro. Like it could just
Oh
be
yeah.
like it can be like that when it comes to like getting involved with certain people or like you know betting lots of money and not having the stuff to back it up. You know, like if you're gonna
Right.
bet a lot, make sure you have the money to back it up at least, and you know it's not gonna
Right.
put you in debt. That's the key.
It's insane. I mean, like, and dude, it's crazy. Like, I found out that literally like how this is a total random example, but I know that like Floyd Mayweather is a massive gambler,
Oh no, but
and
he can
how
back
like
it up though.
well, this is the thing that's crazy about it. He used to be worth like $1 billion, and he like his gambling problem got so out of control. He's only worth like 300 mil now. He lost so much of his goddamn money from gambling, bro. And now he literally refuses to like step into Vegas at all unless he go into his house or he's just like hanging with someone else. Like I saw him in an interview talk about it, and he just like seemed so sad. He was like, I lost all my money, man. I was just like, what the shit, dude?
I mean,
Like
that's actually
that's so much money to lose. That's 700 fucking million dollars.
like I I don't even know what to say to that. Like that's like that's like the price of like a fucking like company. Like that's
Yeah.
like a company losing like amount of money. Like that's like
Bro, think about how rich Adam Sandler is. Like, I think he's worth like 400 mil. He's got a lot of fucking money.
oh yeah.
Like, Floyd almost lost double what Adam's worth.
I mean,
Just think
dude.
about that.
See, that's what I mean too. It's like you can have all the money too, but you can still be stupid. You know, money doesn't make you smart. You know, like it does
It'll
not
make you smart. Especially
It
because
does,
there's a lot of just like people who are like rich idiots.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I was appalled when I heard that. I was like, what the fuck, man? Because it's like, you think about if you have that much money, bro, like, especially like, anyone would be fine with just like $1 million. Like, people are like, oh, what would you do with $1 million? And he has like 999 million times that, and he lost like literally 70% of it. It just blows my mind. That's so much money to lose
That's
just off of
actually, like,
gambling.
that's like shocking. But like again, you know, I don't mean to be mean, but with gambling, that's like I feel like that's part of it, right? You got to be ready to lose a lot, you know, or hopefully he can make it back. I don't know if he's gonna be. He's not fighting anymore, right? So
No, bro. I mean, like, he's literally like 50. I think he's like 50 years old. Let me see. Actually,
yeah.
let me see Floyd Mayweather's age. I'm curious how old he is now. Let me see this. Uh, age.
But
He's
like
46.
okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, again, I don't think he's gonna. He needs to find a
No.
different way to make money or like hold on to his money that's
Well,
not gambling.
either like hold on to it, or dude, just like how about just like invest in a company,
Yeah.
like or even like make your own company. Like I mean, if you're retired, like what else are you gonna fucking do? He's not even 50 years old yet, so it's like I think I heard him say that he literally like invested in like and made his own company. He made a strip club, so it's like. Because like, and I loved his theory. His theory was like, and he was actually on Jimmy Kimmel. So he's like, I run a strip club and I invest in a strip club because I knew that like, ass, titties, and pussy, music, and alcohol would never go out of style. So, and like, I was like, this is a smart idea, but like, but yeah, like, so I was like, dude, just invest in something like that, like, you know what I mean? So. I don't know, man. Yeah, like I was so shocked when I heard that. Like that's just so much money down the drain, just cause to like win a fucking basketball game. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's wild, dude. I don't know, and it's kind of I'm kind of glad that I never got into that. Like, you know, I joke about the fact that like, oh, I'm an alcoholic, but it's like literally I only like get drunk like once a week. Yeah. So it's like, I mean, unless you can be considered alcoholic if you drink once a fucking week, I don't think you can. But like, yeah, like when I consider it, I consider like you have to just wake up and you want to drink before doing anything else. That's what I consider alcoholic. Yeah. But and it's funny because my friend literally like, thank God he quit because he was on the verge of probably becoming one. But I think addiction really is no joke, guys. But especially like with gambling, bro. Like the first time I tried gambling, I was actually ironically in Las Vegas, and I tried to gamble, and I like my friend got like, here's like $40, go gamble. I gambled, bro. Like maybe I just need to like learn how to play the games better. But like when I played it, I was just so bored. Like I was just like, especially like with the machines, like all you do is just sit there, pull a lever.
Yeah.
And that's it. I'm just like, to me, I will never get addicted to this. I don't even fucking like it. I will never get addicted to that. So
yeah,
never got to worry about that.
To each their own. You know, if people, you got to be smart about that, right? You know, it's like not like I guess alcohol in the sense where you doesn't physically harm you right away, but it can still lead to harm down the road if you don't got the cash to back it up.
Exactly. You know what's funny? I had this question I heard on a podcast. I thought I'd ask it here. It's a would you rather question. I heard this and this was so interesting. Would you rather lose all the money you ever made in life or lose all the memories you ever gained in life?
Damn, yeah, I would probably do the money, yeah.
So you're gonna keep the money or lose the money?
I would lose the money.
See, bro, that's fuck yeah, Jack. I thought the same thing too, because I was like, if you think about it, if you lost all your memories, you wouldn't even know who the fuck your parents are.
Yeah.
It's like, you wouldn't know anybody who ever like at least if you lost all the money, like at least you'd have someone to like fall back on. You could stay somewhere and eventually build that money. Time you could still do it. If you lost all your memories, bro, and let's say you literally like I don't know, you got robbed or something, like your ass is on the street, you ain't going fucking nowhere because you don't remember anybody. Like,
no, true.
You know.
Yeah. So that's a good question. I mean, I'm sure I've met lots of people that would choose the money though. You know.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, what's funny is like I asked that to my family. All my family chose the money.
Really?
They all chose the money.
Oh, okay. I mean,
was like, damn, you're not gonna remember your own son? Shit, damn it. That's just mean. No, but no, that's wild. But yeah, I heard that and I was just like, huh, it's very intriguing. I also heard another one. This one was kind of cool. This is more of like a nerdy kind of topic. Would you rather have a world where Sony and Microsoft never existed, or a world where Nintendo and Sega never existed?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think Nintendo and Sega, to be honest.
So you'll drop Nintendo and Sega?
Yeah, because okay. I think yeah, with Sony and Microsoft, there's a lot of stuff with both companies that like have just influenced and driven a lot of what has gone on within the world. And I think I don't know necessarily, but I think Nintendo and Sega really only influenced itself. You know, Nintendo, like, you know, developing into what it is and learning from it, you know, its past failures.
And also, like, Sega barely exists anymore. You know what I mean?
Does it even exist? I don't even know what
I know they make Sonic, but it's like, you mainly think, I mean, yeah, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, see.
But like, here's, like, the thing is, like, okay, yeah, obviously Nintendo very much exists, but, like, but yeah, Sega barely exists anymore. Like, don't get me wrong. It definitely is a memory. Like as a kid, you know, like you'd load up your like a Sonic and hear like Sega. Like that's a memory for sure. But like, yeah, dude. Like and like for Nintendo, like I like my Switch, and I obviously have played my Wii and my and Nintendo DS. Like that's all fun. But I'm going Microsoft and Sony 100% because think about it also, like not only do you lose Xbox and PlayStation. With Microsoft, you also lose Windows. Do you lose PC? And with Sony, you didn't think about this. A lot of Sony makes movies too. So if you lost Sony, you would lose some of your the best movies you've ever seen if you liked a lot of Sony movies. And also, like, I think about this too.
Spider-Man games? Oh my god, no, bro.
Oh my god, that'd be terrible to lose. Holy shit. We gotta alert the pastors.
Yeah.
But also, like, bro, think about this. You also would lose like how like Sony makes like they'll even make like Blu-ray and DVD players. You would lose all of those growing up too. So it's like you probably couldn't watch any DVDs or Blu-ray. So it's like, no, I think if you got to keep Microsoft and Sony too. Yeah, just like fuck Mario and Sonic. Like, who cares about them? So yeah.
There was one video I saw like the other day, which was like someone. Okay? There's one question I have to ask you. Do you have
Okay.
like an inner monologue? Do you know what that means? Like, do you like? Can you say things in your head and like when you think things, like, do you say words in your head or do you have a different way of thinking them out?
It depends. Like if I ever text, like sometimes I'll be thinking about what I want to say, and sometimes I'll say it out loud. Is that kind of what you mean?
No, so it's like, can you say the words in your head? Do you know what I mean? Does that make any sense
Oh,
to you?
okay, okay. I understand. But yeah, so it's like literally if I'm reading something in my head, it's like it's almost like I'm saying it in my head.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And you kind of hear your voice, right? You hear the
I
way you're
do that
saying it.
all the time.
Yeah. So, which I found this out while watching this video, is that there are people out there that don't have an inner monologue, is what they call it, which is
Really?
they don't say it in their head. So when they read things, they like have to read it with like in a whisper. They have to like the mother, person went to the store and bought some eggs. Like they would have to. They couldn't say, this is
Yeah.
that sentence in their head, or they can't when they think things out. Like it's a different way of thinking too, that they remember it. I don't know. I'll have to send you the video later because it's really interesting, because this guy's basically, he's like us, where he has an inner monologue and can like think
Right.
like that, but like he interviews his friend and she just doesn't, and she's like trying to like comprehend like why you would say things in your head, or why you would think the way, and she tries to explain the way that she thinks, and the way that she reads too is really interesting, because like she doesn't look at the words, she looks at the way that the
Right.
sentence is structured, which is like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
That's so weird.
Yeah, so it's, yeah, I just wanted to like ask you and see if you have an inner monologue too.
No, like, and that's been that's been me ever since I was like a kid, like reading in school. Like I always would like let's say like I'd be like, oh, this happened this time on this day, like this happened, whatever, like what, and like I would always hear my voice in my head. Yeah, so like I definitely have it in monologue.
Or
He's just
like,
chilling.
whenever you're
Yeah.
about to say something, you just think it. Maybe you'll like think it through in your head, or you'll say it in your head before you say it like,
Exactly.
out loud. Yeah, that's
Exactly. And also, like I said before with the texting, like I also like sometimes I'll like I'll like be thinking out loud. Like I'll just be like,
Yeah, that's
hey,
fine.
I think I'm gonna go to the store. Like,
Yeah, no,
you know.
I think
Yeah.
I actually did like see that like people that talk to themselves are actually like more like intelligent. That could just be like, people fucking with me, but I don't know. But like, it's like, I think you're trying to keep like kind of like stimulus. You're kind of like just keeping thoughts like, keeping your brain working, and then like saying it out loud is just like another way of like kind of reiterating it to yourself so that you remember, or you want to like make sure that you do that. It's not like you're fucking crazy or something. People do that all the time.
Like, if people like talk to themselves and they seem smarter, if that theory is actually true, that's dude, I'm the smartest fucking
Yeah.
person in the world. Because I remember when I was in school, I would when I was in like 6th grade, I remember I talked to myself so much that like my actual teacher was concerned about me.
Oh no!
Like she actually
Maybe
literally
that's too much.
she actually she actually like set aside a parent teacher conference to talk to my parents, because they were like, hey, I'm not gonna lie, Brad's mom and dad, like Brad seems to be talking to himself a lot in class, and I'm concerned about him.
Oh my god!
This is all, I'm not lying, guys, this is all true.
I mean,
all true.
It's like kids do talk to themselves sometimes too, though. It's like, it's like having an imagination, though. I think it's a good thing, and maybe it's like more shown to like you're like creatively attuned to something. I don't know. It's like you're not, your brain's not boring, is what I'm trying to say. It's like, you're trying to do something with it. Entertain
Oh
yourself.
man, It's like, dude, there'd be times that, like, I swear to God, I think I did this when I was like 12 to 13. I think someone literally asked me, like, bro, are you on drugs? Like, they literally, there's no way you're not high to be talking to yourself. Because I think they assumed that I was probably even answering myself too, being like, how you doing today, Brad? Or, Brad, I couldn't ask that any better myself. I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Brad? Like, it was like, dude, my teacher was so concerned. She'd be like, and she'd actually like pull me aside. She'd be like, hey, actually, be like, hey, listen, dude, like, you got to stop talking to yourself. It's getting a little much. Like, my parents were, like, my dad was even like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
Again,
that
I
was
think
awesome.
to an extent, as long as you're not
Oh yeah.
doing it too much, it's okay.
It was just so wild how my parents and especially my teacher just got so concerned. Like I had to go to the principal's office just for talking to myself.
Oh man,
How funny!
what the fuck?
Oh my gosh,
I mean, I
that was
guess good
wild,
that
dude.
she was concerned for you and
Uh,
making sure you're not like going crazy or something.
I always think about this, man. I always wonder about people that I hung out with either in elementary school or middle school. I always because like I never really got to keep in contact with them, or I don't have them on social media. I always like to know like what do they look like and what are they doing now. You know what I mean? I always like think about that since I'd be like, damn man, like this chick I had a crush on in like fifth grade. I wonder what she looks like and what she's doing now. Like, 'cause she literally like she could either be like fucking like a lawyer or she could be a porn star with whoever the fuck I know. Like I would love to just see like what those people are doing now. I always am interested about that.
I mean, for me, I haven't seen too many people from my like childhood. There's like
Yeah.
one friend that I have that like lives in New York now, but he used to like hang out with us a lot, and like we used to have like a pretty like tight knit group. Uh, and like he's like the only one I probably see the most consistently out of like everyone else. But sometimes I'll see like someone every once in a blue moon from like middle school or
Right.
even like before that. I'll just be like, yo, what's up? Like, it's been a minute, it's been like
Bro,
10 years or something like that. More than
do you
that.
ever see people like from school in public and you try to just like unsee them? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
Sometimes, not all the time though. Most people I'm pretty friendly with though. I have no bad blood.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, I try to have no bad blood either, but it's like sometimes I'll just I think it's like you haven't seen them in so long. Like I don't know if this makes any sense, but I have a better. I'm way better at like walking up to someone new and introducing myself and talking, rather than like seeing someone I haven't seen in so long and then trying to talk to them again. Like I don't
Oh,
know if that makes any
really?
sense. And
No, that,
I think it's because like you have no idea how much someone has changed since the last time you saw them, and also like if they maybe they grew up and they became like a like different or like a more mature person, and like also like if I meet a new person, like this person has no idea who I am, so it's almost like a fresh start every time I meet someone new. You know what I mean? So
yeah, true. I mean, again, I think really like for me at least, I love seeing people I haven't seen in a while. Like I love catching up with people and I love like
hell yeah,
seeing where people are at in their lives. So whenever I see somebody that I recognize, and it's not always, but most of the time I'll be out at a bar or something, and then all of a sudden I'll be like, what the fuck? You like where did you were here? Like where did you come from? Like I'll be like, what the fuck? And then I'll catch up with somebody like I haven't seen in
yeah.
like 5 years or maybe even more than that.
One experience I did have that was a lot of fun. I actually ran into one of my old high school teachers at a bar, and
Oh wow.
I literally saw it. I was like, Mrs. Harrison, what's up? I'm not gonna lie, bro. I literally sat there and had a beer with her. Like it was because like she was the one of the teachers that I fucking loved. Like you have teachers who are bitches, and you have teachers who literally are like some of the coolest, most passionate people about the work ever, and they like sit down and help you and they tell jokes and shit. Like
Yeah.
it was so cool to see. I sat down like fucking like just got drunk with her. Like it was actually a really cool experience. I had never had that before. That was like so much fun to do.
No, that's pretty cool. That's I've never had that experience before. That would be
Yeah.
wild if I ever saw.
It's so awesome. I want to do it again.
I mean, if I ever saw one of my teachers at like a fucking like, a bar in downtown Chicago, that would be wild. I would probably not even recognize them too. That's another thing. They probably wouldn't recognize me. It's been so long since I've been in school. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Can you imagine like seeing one of your teachers like at a strip club, and like, and like imagine like shit like the teachers actually performing on stage.
Dude, I would just leave, bro. I don't need to see that shit. What the fuck? Unless they're like, I guess.
Oh, yeah, this teaching thing didn't quite work out, so I'm here now.
It's just kind of sad. Like, Damn. I guess that's where it's at though. If you're there, you're there.
Oh man, it's like yo, teacher didn't quite work out, so I'm just here showing my tits. Like it's
Yeah.
just like that didn't quite work out. But I think if I saw that, I would just be like, what the fuck is that? I'd be like, yo, is this a dream? Like somebody please slap me. There's no way this is happening. Especially if she was a teacher that I thought was really hot as a kid, and now she's like stripping in front of me. I'd be like, yo, this is what I dreamed about all the time in math class.
Oh my god.
But
Jesus.
yeah, I always thought about that. Yeah, because like seeing her definitely at a bar was really cool as fuck, and she's always was like super nice and fun. I did see, and it's funny because like I'll see a teacher. I saw a teacher like at a restaurant one time, and she was a teacher that I hated, and like she would like I'd be like wave hi just to like be a nice person, just be like hi. She just kept like walking past me, like I was like hi. I think she like glanced at me for a second. She's like, oh, that's who that is, and just like kept walking.
See that shit is that's really stupid when people do that. I hate
Oh, yeah.
I've had people do that to me sometimes or something. Maybe it's also been because I've been pretty drunk before when I've said what's up to them. But like, most of the time, yeah, it's like what if I'm just saying what's up to you, it's like not doesn't take that much. It's like what up,
No, even if you just like look next to me, like just wave to me. That'd be
Yeah.
enough right there. At least you acknowledge that I exist. Like
You're a human being. Come on. Like, what?
Exactly. Like, dude, you know what's funny? I remember when I was and I think maybe because he was the principal. I remember when I was in middle school, and I was in like 8th grade, and my principal came into the room. And literally, he just walked in. He's like, "Hi, everybody!" And we all just stood up and started clapping, except for me. I was the only one who didn't clap. And like literally, the first thing I thought about, like I was just like, "Damn!" Everyone just stood up and went crazy. And I'm like, "Dude, he's getting a standing ovation for just existing. Like, his mere presence is just enough to stand and go crazy." Like, I was like,
He's
"Dude,
like
is this
the
just 'cause,
king.
like he can literally just? Is this because he can just like call all of our parents and get our asses kicked? Is that why he just gave him respect?" Like,
Maybe. Yeah. Fear.
it is fear. The fear in hearts of kids. That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Even this all being said, man, I still do like miss school. Like there are some times I'll think about it, be like, dang, I kind of miss like going to high school. Like my mind is still kind of like on high school time because it's like it's summertime right now, and like I just expect literally in summertime nothing but just fucking vacationing, playing video games, watching TV. Like that's all I think about for summertime. And now it's like, damn, I gotta fucking work the next day.
Yeah. If only it were that simple,
I wish, bro. I wish you could get a paycheck every like. Imagine like all the money I make over overtime, you could just get it paid for just sitting at home for the summertime, and then winter and fall and like everything else, you go back to work. That'd be great.
Yeah,
That'd be so much
no,
fun.
very nice. Just sitting on your ass getting paid.
I know, right, dude? I guess that's what every like 80-year-old person when they retire like it looks forward to.
Yeah,
When they're all this shit, they can just look forward to doing nothing but just like sitting on their ass and like sleeping until like fucking two in the afternoon every single day.
they deserve it. They worked their ass
Oh yeah.
off.
And it's funny because it's yeah, that's true. Yeah, you work your ass off for like fucking 6 decades, and you finally deserve to relax.
Yeah,
It's crazy too how it's like some people are able to retire so fast, and then some people literally because of the jobs they picked, they literally can't. They literally can never retire, and they're still working when they're like 85. Like that must suck ass, dude.
yeah.
Ugh.
That's another problem. Still, like, kind of in America, it's like jobs really need to pay well so that people can actually sustain themselves and survive, and they're not
Yeah.
like literally they can have a retirement. They're not fucking working till whatever till 80. That's actually like insane.
That would like that. I'm not. That's the one thing always getting old. Like I never really cared about getting old, but that's the one thing that scared me about like getting older though. Is that like, damn, bro, what if I don't have money to retire? Like that's why literally like when I was like 13, my mom was like, "Hey, open this bank account and start putting money in your savings immediately.
Oh
Because
yeah.
when you'll probably literally have like 20 grand to be able to just like fucking do nothing but just chill all day." And I'm like, that's kind of what I want to do. I don't want to fucking be like coming into my fucking company like on a cane, like oh I gotta stack these boxes. Like I don't want to do that shit.
Oh yeah. Nobody wants to. So yeah, no. I mean, that's the right thing to do is definitely open up the savings account. Let that shit
Exactly.
grow over time. It's really easy.
Any of you kids out there listening to our podcast, first of all, what the hell are you listening to like our R-rated podcast for? We cuss our asses off in here, and you're listening to it. But then again, we can't stop that. And I can't even I can't even do that, bro. I was probably watching inappropriate videos on YouTube when I was like 7, so like I have no way to talk. I was also playing like Halo when I was like 6. So what the fuck can I say?
Yeah, I was watching horror movies when I was young too, so
Were they like R-rated, like fucking like slasher movies and shit?
Yeah, so like The Shining, Alien,
Yeah.
Terminator, fucking what else? The Thing, which is not the
The
Fantastic
Thing,
Four
yeah.
one. But yeah, no, there's a lot of, I mean, just like obviously all of the Friday the 13th, like all of like just like horror growing up, like you know, fucking Nightmare on Elm Street, you know, e- everything.
That's a classic.
Basic stuff that was just my childhood, and then yeah, action, all the classics, like yeah, just a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Films basically raised me, that's just how it was.
Bro, you know what's funny? Fuck, I just thought about this before we get out of here, guys. I thought about this, bro. I remember when I was like, when I was 9 years old. And what's funny is like I feel like around like 9, 10, 11, you start to like get a little like sexually curious. You're kind of like, oh, I kind of like I'm staring at women a little bit, or guys, hey, we're not homophobic here,
Yeah.
but like, but like anyway, I remember I was like, and for me, we were still like broke as shit. And so I like to watch like YouTube videos. We don't like, there wasn't any like, if we had smartphones, they were like very brand new smartphones back in like 2008 and 9. So how I watched YouTube is I went to the library and went on the computer. So I would go to the library with my friend, and we would watch like a Family Guy bit, and it was with like some chick like with her tits like popping out, and then like I would like make sure my mom wasn't around, and then I got so into it, I was just watching it with true intent, and then I look next to my mom. My mom is like this. Oh, she was watching me the whole time. She was like, is my son at 9 years old watching a chick with her titties out? What is happening? And I was like, I just went, Mom, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And she's like, it's okay. You're curious. I understand.
Oh my god. I mean, the Family Guy's got you going,
Oh my god, it did, bro. I looked down. I was like, what's happening?
Oh my god.
Oh man, but I just wanted to share that last funny story, bro, because I remember seeing that and my mom's reaction. She was just like, with her mouth wide open, like, what is going on? And I was just like, Mom, please don't grow me.
Oh man. Well, I guess you like you said, you were curious. You're trying to find out what you like.
Curious. You're really, I kind of want to see what these are like. But anyway, guys, we're gonna get out of here, man. We love y'all to death. That was an awesome episode. Come back for the next episode of Nerds and Mics next week. But either way, we will of course see you guys in the next one.
Peace.